Computer memory, cores, it started off electrostatic memory, and that was and delay line memory. It's basically run a series of ones and zeros down a delay line and then route them back in and run them down it again. And if you want to take the data out of there, you just wait until the one comes by and then you grab it and use it. And the problem with those is that your amount of capacity is so terribly limited. But the earlier machines, the Atlas machines, the earlier UNIVAC 1100 series, they all used electrostatic delay lines. And it wasn't until the core memories came in when you started to get some decent density. The USQ-17, which was the prototype of the NTDS computer, had a 32,000 word memory in it, all core memory. And that was housed in 5 chassis. So that was a significant amount of real estate to hold that much memory. Right now, you can get considerably more memory in one chip the size of your thumbnail. So it's come a long ways, but it was core memory for a long time up until, and the cores would get smaller and they'd get faster. So that's what you're doing, is you're improving the performance by making the cores smaller and their switching speed improved. And finally, they came out, and this would have been in 68 or 69, some of the first of the memory chips. And they were basically a 16-bit, 4 bits, 4 words deep, 16 bits. And from there on, we actually used that chip as a part of the register set in the computer, in the CP890, the central navigation computer. And then we used it also as a control memory for the input-output. These UNIVAC machines were somewhat unique in that they had a programmable input-output scheme that buffered data in and out without having any attention from the central processor. Most commercial machines required that you actually execute a program in the central processor to bring data in or send it out one word at a time. But the UNIVAC machines were built for NTDS as basically a data distribution center, taking a lot of data in from a lot of places and sending data out to a lot of places. So there was a big emphasis on the input-output controller design. And basically it would open up a buffer that would bring in data or send out data based upon a couple of control words. And those 2 control words would contain the starting address and the ending address. And the processor didn't have to get involved. In fact, at the end of the transfer, you could generate an interrupt to the processor, which would tell the processor that the input is complete or the output is complete. So input-output was very important to us. Doing the updating and the comparison of those 2 addresses required that you store them someplace, and that's where this memory chip came in handy. They were fast, they were small. You could put them down on the IO controller, and it pretty much took care of itself. It eliminated a whole chassis in one of our computers, which didn't make the film memory guys very happy. But film memory is another story. Film memory was developed by a research group in Plant 1, and it was an improvement of faster core memory is what it was. It was still magnetically operating, but it was operating, instead of being in cores, it was operating on a wire that was plated with magnetic material. And then there was a mated film memory, which is another kind of the same thing, only a little different structure. The interesting thing about that film memory is that in the 20B computer, which was the third series, the third series in the 30-bit computers, it was developed by the Navy, had a film memory that was a high-speed memory used for that control memory. When the 20B production contract was awarded, it was not awarded to UNIVAC. It was awarded to Sylvania. And Sylvania could not build that film memory chassis. They didn't have the technique and the facilities to build the film memory chassis. So they were forced to buy it from us. And we made more money off the film memory chassis selling it to them than we would have made off the computer if we'd have built it. So no good deed goes unpunished, okay? But the memories over a period of time became integrated circuits. chips, okay, and the chips are getting denser and denser, and you get down to the point where you're talking about one atom or a number of atoms just comprising one cell. So I don't know where it ends, but you just keep taking advantage of it. That's all.